Well, good morning, boys. Uh, I'm I'm in Montana, and today I thought I would talk about. It's kind of a weird topic. Maybe it's because while I was taking a shower this morning, I turned on the radio and Jackson Browne was playing Mystic River, and so maybe I'm in one of those moods where it's just like, and not so much that. I guess it's just more of that future thinking. I don't know how many of you guys out there have ever grown up in a little tiny town and, had a really good life. And what I mean by that is just you had really great friends. You were popular in high school, or you don't even have to be popular in high school. You just had a lot of friends in high school. You had a lot of friends outside of that. And, you spend 20 something years of your life in one location, and then finally you uproot and move to somewhere else. And then you find yourself coming on vacation back home. And when you come home, the feeling of home no longer feels like home. Coming back to Great Falls, I don't feel like I no longer belong here. It really feels weird. I come back here and I see buildings that weren't the way they were at one time. And I've only been gone for 5 years. So seeing buildings that ain't there no more, seeing remodeling, and then also just seeing buildings falling apart and seeing businesses, like local businesses, going out of business, and seeing buildings torn down and nothing built there. And all of the grass when I came here was super brown. It was just a super depressing feeling I had, but also a relief, a feeling of, God, I always bitch about Jersey. Oh, I'm always bitching about New Jersey and New York, and I have all these negative things to say, but at the same time, I'm thankful that I finally got out of the place I grew out of. If you grew up in a small town, you know what a black hole is. A black hole is something that grabs a hold of your ass and it never fucking ever lets go. Anything that you do never works. All the money you ever save is all gonna be spent. Everything you do is just gonna be against you. And if you can get out of that black hole, it is the best feeling in the world. But there is also a sad feeling. So coming back to Great Falls, driving around with my friend John Henry, I just saw places growing up and being like, man, I remember this and I remember that. And I guess that's what it is coming home and remembering and having all that nostalgic feeling of home, of being like, man, this is the place I grew up in. These are the people. And speaking of people, it might be a disgusting thing to talk about, but you always want to see the people that you grew up with. You're always just curious of, in the back of your head, like, am I doing better than that person? Is my life better than that person? Now, it sounds disgusting to say it out loud, but I don't care what anybody thinks. They're saying that in the back of their head. People think that way. It's a natural thing to do. We're all competitive, and there's nothing wrong with it. It just sounds gross when you say it out loud. So when I come back home, I like to drive around and see what buildings are missing, see what people look like, see if I could bump into people in high school, and then just drive around and bring back good feeling. Oh, whoa, whoa. I don't know how the hell the song goes. Just drive around and, find that home feeling. And God, it's super depressing. That's all I could really say. There's nothing to say that's like, I went and I saw my mother, and my mother now is 88 years old, and God bless her soul. She's so strong, but her body's not holding up, and her mind, it's getting weaker. And that's the saddest part, is seeing somebody you're growing up with and you love your mother and your parents so much. But to see somebody get old and feeble and senile, it's the worst feeling in the world. And when you love somebody so much and that's all you have in your life is just that one person, it hurts. It crushes your soul. But at the same time, I have such a strong mother. My mother said to me when I moved away from Great Falls, I packed my car and I drove over to her and I came into the house and we talked a little bit. And then she said, "All right, my boy, it's time to go." And I was starting to cry and she just looked at me and she said, "Wipe those fucking tears. Don't you cry." And she's like, "When you leave, don't you ever come back here, ever. And if I die, don't come back. You saw me before I died. You remember everything that it was. You remember what we have. I love you. You don't need to come and see some fucking box with somebody that's not there. I'm not here anymore. I love you. I'm giving you my blessings. Enjoy your life. Don't ever come back to this shithole." And I don't know how your parents talk to you. I don't know how your parents react to you. I don't even know if you have conversations about death with your parents or if you have conversations that are out of the normal. But to me, that is normal. My mother has always just spoke to me clear as day. There's no hiding her words. There's no like, "Oh, my boy, you look good, but I look like shit." My mom's like, "You look like fucking shit. You're ugly. Get your shit together." And so, like, when she said those words to me, obviously it crushed me, like, just thinking about her dying. But at the same time, it just made sense to me. Like, we all die, and there's nothing we can do about it. And if you end up moving like I did, and I live thousands of miles away from here, my mother just saying, "Don't come back. If I die, don't come to my funeral." Like, I want to come to her funeral. I want to show her that. But at the same time, does it make sense? Like, the person you love is gone and I had that talk. So it's like, you never know when a person's going to leave you. I've said this before, the last conversation I had a few videos ago about just tell the people you love that you love them. Say, "I love you" to the people that you care about every single time. I don't care what people think. Like, if you get to know me and you meet me, I always tell people I love them. And obviously you can tell when you like love someone. I say, "Hey, I love you, man. Have a good day. Good to see you, bro. Marijuana." Whatever I say, right? But like, if a person, God forbid, passes away or you don't ever get to see them, at least you know that you got to tell them how you felt about them. And you had like a sincere send off. And that's what's important in life. I'm thankful to have a mother that I have. She's 88 years old. She's still around, but she's getting feeble. And, who knows how much time she has? She could have 10 more years. I don't know. Thinking about it is very morbid, and I don't even know why I'm on this conversation. But it's something serious. It's something that you have to think about. There's a lot of things that people do in their lives, and if it disrupts or bothers them or makes them feel upset, a lot of people take that shit and they just ball it the fuck up and they jam it down as far as they can. And then they never address it. And then years later, when that shit comes back up and they have a perfect life and it's going all nice, they just explode. And then everyone's like, "Oh, what the fuck was wrong with him? Why is he acting so crazy?" Well, the reason he's acting crazy or that is because all of a sudden, everything that he just grabbed and held on to and didn't say anything exploded. You can only go so far before you explode. So I've just learned in my life to express myself. Now, this expressing that I'm doing now and this kind of like monologue or this like talking to an inanimate object and then posting it online so the whole world can see it, or let's be real, 200 people can see it because that's the views I get. But this is seriously the most therapeutic thing I've ever had. And the reaction that I get from you guys is even better. Like, this is a conversation. This is why I'm making it. I'm not making it to, "Oh, dude, I'm going to be so big one day." Dude, who gives a fuck if I'm going to be big? I'm bigger than I've ever thought I'd be bigger in my life. All right? I have tons of followers. I have people that are friends. I have tons of virtual friends. There's people that are on here that comment every single day, and they have been helping me. They've helped me with my car. They've helped me to think different. They've told me their situations. They told me how their life is. And you might have read my story. I've told you my story of my life, some of it, not all of it. And you would think, oh, he's got a bad life. But there's other people out there that have worse lives than me. And there's people that just have situations that I've never experienced. And listening to their words, or reading it, has made it so much better for me. And dude, sometimes feelings just start from a song. Every time. Like Jackson Browne, you son of a bitch. You just get me right in the heart, and it just makes me feel a certain way. And now, here I am. I'm in 2,000 miles away from New Jersey, and I'm back in Montana. And I'm in my friend's kitchen, and I'm just shooting a video telling you guys how I feel and kind of just spurting things out. And like I said before, there's no editing, and I don't have any fucking format. I've been trying to make these entertaining. I've been trying to make them, they're just real. That's it. This is me. This is all I got. And I'm hoping that more and more people find these, and more people enjoy these, and they express their feelings to me, and they comment and tell me the stuff that they're going through and their lives. And I'm really bad with names, and I'm really bad with stuff, but certain people on here that have sent me certain comments have really touched my heart. There's one guy on here that said something that just made me think different about life. And I don't want to go and say his life story or whatever not, but that man knows about time more than any of us. And that man is doing whatever he can to enjoy that time. And I try to put myself in his situation, and I can't fucking do it. The man's super strong, dude. And if you're watching this, man, I love you, brother. I do. Thanks for what you wrote the other day. It was really touching. I gotta quit tapping the table because you guys are gonna hear that, because these fucking phones pick up everything. Obviously I'm kind of being emotional again, but I'm also being truthful. So remember this: if you live in a small town and you feel like you could never get out of there, if you want to get out of there, you're going to get out of there. All right? And when you leave and you come back home, you deserve however you feel when you come back home. If you feel sad, if you feel happy, if you're ecstatic, whatever it is, you deserve that, because you did whatever you had to do to get the fuck out of that place that you grew up in. Because I'll be honest with you, sometimes if you stay where you grew up, it never works out the best for you. You're always going to be sad. You're always going to be depressed. That could be fucking wrong, but I'm just telling you, from my experience, I'm so glad I left this place. I love Montana, always claim Montana, but I can't live in Montana. It's just not for me. My spirits are too high, and this place will just bring me down even more. But I love every single one of you guys. I appreciate everything. These videos are very sporadic, but I'm just promising to try to make a video every single day. So write me something. Tell me some stuff, man. Put that shit down there. You guys know I answer every goddamn question. Write me some comments. Leave me some likes. If you have Instagram, please just share this video on there so it gets out there to other people. And maybe there's some things that I say on here that touch you, or you have questions about, or you feel about. Let me know about those. And seriously, from the bottom of my heart, thank you guys for everything. I love you, motherfuckers. Have the greatest day ever. And I'm gonna go ride my bike. For you.